Hello, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you all tonight for Insight Vacations virtual tour of the Best of Italy. My name is Tanya St. Jean, and I'm a travel agent based in CAA's Sudbury office. We are lucky tonight to have two people joining us from Insight, Brad Ford, President of Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold Canada, and Heidi Schnittker, Account Manager for Insight Vacations. I've been lucky enough to have traveled to Italy before, and as everyone who's been there will tell you, I can't wait to go back. I'm going to hand it over to Heidi now and ask if you have any questions for the end of the presentation to kindly post them in the chat box. Heidi?
Thanks so much, Tanya, and hello to everybody out there that has joined us this evening as we do a CA Northeast Ontario special presentation of Discover the Best of Italy, Le Dolce Vita in comfort and in style. And we are proud partners of CA Travel and know that they are committed to providing the very best service. And we do share that commitment to your well-being and confidence and provision of expertly provided and delivered premium small group journeys that create memories to last a lifetime. So my name is Heidi Schnittker. Unfortunately, that's an outdated picture. I gotta get a new one. But I am the Strategic Account Manager with Insight Vacations, and I am thrilled to be joined this evening on this virtual presentation by the leader of Insight Vacations Canada, Mr. Brad Ford.
Ciao, familia.
So Brad is going to take us through an inspiring look at some of the experiences that make travel through Italy so enjoyable. And it is our intention to give you some inspiration to think about traveling with Insight Vacations and CA on their upcoming Best of Italy journey that we have curated for September 2022. So first, I will touch on what makes Insight Vacations special and what makes our premium offering unique in class. And then Brad and I will give you an overview of the Best of Italy itinerary and describe some of the unique to Insight inclusions. So to begin our presentation, I'd like to give you a better idea about who we are as a company and what you can expect from the foremost small group escorted journeys at Insight Vacations. So our brand promise really does say it all the sights and the insights up close and personal in comfort and in style. And we are the only operator in North America that sits in the premium service category. And we love to show you the art of traveling in style. So Insights Vacations is part of a larger corporation known as the Travel Corporation, which is a family-owned and passionately run company driven by service. And they really have been making travel personal for nearly 2 million guests who travel with us on our award-winning brand each year. And we were so lucky to celebrate 100 years in business last year. And we have been delivering these magical moments to loyal travelers like yourselves for that long. It's such an amazing experience. So why do we enjoy an above average repeat traveler rate? Because we do get a lot of repeat travelers, and it's really word of mouth. Our guests are our best advocates, and we are honored with FIFO's Platinum Trusted Service Award, which is their highest accolade. And the average of 4.6 out of 5 stars the rating has been based on 11,000 plus independent verified reviews by our Insight guests over the last 3 years. So it's quite an achievement. So we are very committed to our new comprehensive well-being approach. There's been a lot of changes over the last year, as we all know, and we have really sort of looked at what we're doing over the next couple of years and really sort of changed the way that we take care of you, our guests, while we're on our journey. So new on our journey of more than 20 travelers, we have our well-being directors that are truly unique in the travel industry and really take a proactive approach to your welfare. And the well-being director dedicates their attention to the most current hygiene and physical distancing protocols throughout the trip and are completely up to date on the latest protocols and regulations from the World Travel and Tourism Council, the World Health Organization, and of course, all the local government authorities. They are always available to overcome any concerns and support the travel director throughout the Insight Vacations journey, trying to make the holiday as perfect and as seamless for you as possible, because it's all about the fun. And you can relax and have peace of mind that you can enjoy your experience fully. So completing the personal support team that we have with our travel director and our well-being director, of course, is our specially trained driver. We wouldn't get anywhere without them. And they also are in charge of making sure that the enhanced stringent cleaning and well-being protocols on board the coach are taken care of as well. And if need be, they need to change HEPA filters. That's also something that they do as well. And the entire unit, of course, is further supported by an on-the-ground 24/7 incident response team that is located in all of our local offices around the world. So we wouldn't be where we are today without some of the fantastic, unique Insight experiences that we offer. And really, we believe that magic isn't imaginary, it's just very well planned. And our Insight experiences really are that secret special sauce that we've put into the mix. And with more than 100 unique Insight experiences, over 70 different journeys that we offer, they cannot be booked with anybody else. They are ungoogleable and they are unique to Insight. And we connect our guests, such as yourselves, with all of the local people to experience all of the local experiences in the destination and that really bring it to life. And we do consistently include the most desired sightseeing in the upfront price of the trip. So there's no hidden extras when you do actually book something with us, which is fantastic. So something that I'm really proud to talk about, of course, is our Make Travel Matter experiences, and that they're incredibly new. And it really does reflect our deep-rooted passion for ensuring that our travels really do make a difference and, as a force for good. We know that traveling in today's world, some of you out there really want to make a positive impact when you're traveling. And our Make Travel Matter experiences highlight more than 11 different United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which really do support the brilliant initiatives that really do touch the people, the planet, and the wildlife. And one of those experiences, which I will not be talking about in depth, but Brad will be in a little bit, is really the in Venice, which is the art of glass blowing, which has now been practiced by precious few masters. And as I said, Brad will highlight on that in a couple of slides. So one of the other things that's really unique to Insight, our guests are traveling in a group, on a coach that has fewer guests than any other operator out there. So with our classic series, it's about a maximum of 40 passengers per coach because we have 40 seats, but on average, on our classic journeys, it's about 33. And then we actually have a new small group series, which is a maximum of 24 guests. So, with that, you get to enjoy more dedicated, personalized service and dining at restaurants that can accommodate, usually larger groups. And it also gives you a better camaraderie among the group. But we've got something even better this year, which we are thrilled to announce, is our private groups. So the innovation that we've come up with is really a way for you to engage with your little social bubble or your family. And if you have a group as few as 12 guests, we can create a really unique journey for you that will have the benefit of also traveling in a larger group. So please do think about that in the next little while, because it's an amazing opportunity. So I love talking about food. Everybody loves to dine. Italy is famous for it, which is fantastic. We were just talking about pasta and gelato, but the chance to immerse yourself in the culture and the destination through food is really one of my favorite parts of any Insight journey. And from the welcome dinner on the first evening to the beautiful breakfasts that set you up each day, the sumptuous dinners that are enjoyed with, of course, local wine, and the special themed evenings that you sometimes get through a celebration dinner, which can serve you up to 4 different courses, and of course served with wine. But you will never go hungry on one of our journeys because there's always a chance to really try local delicacies along the way. So one of the other unique things, of course, is our uniquely customized 40-seater coaches, which feature double the legroom and double this panoramic view, which is amazing because it's the only coach that in the tour industry that really does have this type of legroom. We are the only ones. And not only does this provide more comfort for yourselves when you're traveling with us, but it provides this fantastic view of countryside as you're passing and landscapes. And of course, getting on and off the coach is a breeze because there's fewer people and it's much quicker and efficient. But we don't only travel by coach. There are so many different modes of transportation that we travel. And one of them, like this, of course, is the Country Road to Switzerland, where, or any Switzerland journey that we do, where we actually travel on the Glacier Express. And if you find yourself in Egypt, you can also travel on one of those traditional feluccas that go up and down the Nile. So when it comes to our accommodation, we handpick the premium 4- and 5-star properties that go on our journeys. And some of them are in the absolute best locations. So with restaurants and cultural attractions that are right at your doorstep, we also have these boutique city center hotels like d'Angleterre, which is located in the heart of Geneva. And of course, this one specifically is part of our award-winning brand, the Reincarnation Hotels. So the health and well-being of our guests and the team have always been and always will be our top priority. And our comprehensive approach really has been carefully designed so that you can book with confidence and peace of mind and can really relax and enjoy the journey, all while knowing that you are in the hands of some of our insight experts. And, this includes our passenger pre-departure declaration that we fill out, as well as the stringent on the road protocols. And then of course, our even smaller group size, which allows for more personal space. So on to the best of Italy. We hope we've given you a better idea about what it is that we do with Insight Vacations, and of course, why we are so passionate about our loyal guests such as yourselves. So thank you for being here. And now Brad and I will introduce you to the Best of Italy journey that has been put together by CA Northeast Ontario and Insight Vacations. And it is truly a great way to see the true depth and breadth of Italy with some experiences that are unique to CAA. Buongiorno, Rome. Buongiorno, Rome. I apologize. Buongiorno. I apologize for my Italian. My kids are learning Italian in school. I'm trying to pick it up from them. It's not going so well. But anyways, buongiorno, Rome. Welcome to the eternal city of Rome. Welcome to Rome. It's a glorious city filled with classic antiquities and medieval buildings, and of course, Renaissance palaces and Baroque churches. And you will be transferred from the airport to your hotel for the first night. And you get to relax and settle in before you meet your travel director and your fellow travelers for a local dinner served with wine at a local restaurant. Your hotel in Rome will be within walking distance of the major attractions, as I said, 4- to 5-star premium properties that we handpick. One of the examples is the Hotel Colbe, which is one of the properties that we do use for Rome. And this one actually has a great history because its origin traces back to the 15th century when it was a convent. But of course, after a skillful renovation, don't worry, it has been renovated, it is a luxury hotel that's located in the heart of the city. So the next day you wake up, you have this fantastic breakfast in Italy. You've woken up in this beautiful city of Rome, and you get to go to the VIP, you get to go to the Vatican for a VIP experience with one of our local experts. So we join a local expert for an in-depth look at the Vatican museums, and we have arranged a special VIP entry so that you avoid the lineups and you gain behind the scenes access to this fantastic work of art, which is the original Bramante staircase. And this is normally off limits to regular visitors. It was built in 1505, and a little fact, you can actually get a horse and carriage around the staircase. It's actually flat, it's not a staircase at all, but that's what our local experts are for. But it's just a little tidbit of history there, which I really like sharing. You also get to visit the Sistine Chapel, where the popes, of course, are elected to, and also admire Michelangelo's beautiful ceiling. And then you continue to St. Peter's Basilica, where you get to wonder at another one of his works of art called the Pieta. Discover some ancient treasures, of course, in Rome with a passionate local, see the Circus Maximus in the ancient Forum, and stand beside the Colosseum, which of course bears witness to some of the limitless courage of the gladiators. And maybe later, so I put a picture here, maybe explore some of the little cafes and the gelaterias and have some famous gelato, because that's what it's known for, and sit and relax and enjoy Rome as it was meant to be. Mr. Brad, would you like to elaborate?
I'd love to. I'm here to give a bit of color commentary about this experience and specifically what you can expect when you visit the Vatican and the Vatican museums. I'd like to point out that Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold and the families underneath the travel corporation have a very unique relationship with the Vatican. You have to understand the Vatican, it's not a regular business to deal with and not a regular partner that we have, but we do have some very specific individuals in our organization who have had a long-standing relationship with the Vatican officials. And what that means for Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold specifically is you truly do experience the Vatican and the Vatican museums like no one else, like a true VIP. And what does that mean? I can tell you even from the very beginning, when if anyone's been to Italy before and you've tried to line up to visit the Vatican Museum and maybe see the Sistine Chapel, you know that the lineups can literally spiral around the blocks. They can go on for hundreds and hundreds of meters. And the lineups are divided into 4 categories. The first with people who show up and decide that they'd like to try and their luck and get into the Vatican, and that tends to go on forever. And then you have the second line with people who have pre-ordered tickets, and that line is again quite long and tends to go on for quite a while. You have another line that's for groups, and there are other companies that use that groups line, and then they again will have to wait their turn to get into the Vatican Museum and the Vatican. And then with Insight Vacations, you have a very different experience. And what we do is we use the VIP entry. No one else gets to use this entry within our category, and we're very proud of that. So what happens is basically we whisk you past all of those people who are in line. We take you through to get your tickets. We take you immediately into the Vatican Museum, and then you get to wander through without all of the crowds that tend to crowd in after 10, 11 a.m. So it's a really unique experience where we get to take photos like these where you don't have heads popping up in your photos, and you really get to understand the wide expanse of everything that you're looking at. You are looking at St. Peter's Basilica on the left in the photo there, and on the right you're looking within the Museum Vaticano, which is the Hall of Maps. And I can tell you it's one of my favorite rooms in the entire museum. And you can take these photos with the real calm and serenity and enjoying exactly what the experience is all about. In the next image, of course, it's something that's very famous to really the world, and that's Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. Now, our experience again is very different because we skip the lines and because we can get into the Sistine Chapel quite early. We avoid the crowds, and this means you get a much more intimate and connected experience with the Sistine Chapel itself. You'll see all of the incredible detail that are in these incredible walls and in the ceiling that really you don't necessarily get to see when you've got thousands of people crowded up around you, jostling for room. What we do is we make sure that we get you in nice and early when there are very few people actually within the Sistine Chapel. And again, the quiet is very different. You get to really feel the impact of the silence while you're in the room, which is really quite different when you get the din of a crowd in there. You can enjoy the incense wafting, and you can really feel the real magic and the power of these incredible frescoes in front of you. So it's just one of those little experiences that you'll appreciate as part of an Insight Vacations traveler. And with CAA and Insight Vacations, we make sure that the best of Italy really is that. You experience the best of all of these experiences in comfort and style and without all the crowds.
That's such a beautiful picture. It just makes me want to just lay on the ground and just stare up at it all day. It's just incredible and must be amazing just to see that in person. It must be so breathtaking.
And now's an interesting time to actually go see the Sistine Chapel because I'm sure you know that there were a lot of Japanese investors who put a lot of money in the restoration of the Sistine Chapel, and taking photos wasn't allowed. And now that that embargo is finished and it's we passed through that licensing period where you couldn't take any photos, you had to purchase the photos in the gift shop outside. You actually can at times within the day, you're invited to take photos of the ceiling, and we make sure that we get you there at that time.
That's awesome. So we leave beautiful Rome after gazing at that beautiful Sistine Chapel, and we journey uh, through the Tuscan hills and journey towards Florence. But first, we make a stop at the house of the Italian Renaissance diplomat and writer, Niccolo Machiavelli, and we get to enjoy a private picnic on the grounds. Now, Brad, you've been there and taken some pictures.
I have, absolutely. And you'll see even in the next photo. I mean, this is the palazzo that Nicola Machiavelli was actually exiled to when the government of Florence found that he was too much of a political dissenter and really quite powerful and influential. So he was exiled out of Florence, and he was made to stay in this beautiful palazzo overlooking the Tuscan hills, and just in the distance seeing the great Duomo of Firenze, of Florence, and feeling in his heart that knowing he could never go back, and it was their form of torturing him because of he wanted to be so close to his beloved Florence but could only see it from a distance. And in this property is really something exceptional. I mean, we give you an experience that truly is a Tuscan feast. So we invite you in, and we give you the history, of course, of the great of master. And what we do from there is take you into the winery. And we show you how the Chianti is made, and we do a tour of the great barrels of Chianti waiting to be tasted. And we don't deprive you of that for too long. We give you a lovely taste of the Chiantis, and there's something very exceptional about this particular this particular spot in the Tuscan hills. They are famous at the Villa Machiavelli for creating this blue prosecco. And so you'll get to taste the blue prosecco. And what is blue prosecco? It's quite frankly, it's prosecco that's made in a very different way where they actually incorporate the skin of the grape. And the skin of the grape turns it into this beautiful, almost like neon blue. And it's hard to believe that this is like this incredible natural prosecco that you're drinking. And it's just so delightful as you're looking out over the hills. Quite exceptional experience.
I would love to be sent to my room if I was living there.
I was going to say that's a
Can
great
you
way to be
imagine?
exiled.
Yes.
Anyone can, well, truthfully, like we all have been for 9 months, right?
Yeah. It's not a bad place to be, I can tell you, but wow, that's an
Imagine.
amazing, amazing place. Oh my gosh. Oh, so we leave the beautiful Villa Machiavelli and we journey to Florence, Firenze, the birthplace of the Renaissance. And we get to explore Florence with this added CAA perk that's part of this group, which is a visit to the Accademia, which is, of course, the museum that has Michelangelo's David. And we get a nice little sort of history lesson from an art historian of this beautiful place. And then we walk on to the multicolored marble cathedral, the bell tower, and of course the baptistry, which of course is Florence Cathedral, formerly the Cattedrale di Santa Maria del Fiore. That's a long one, which of course is the Cathedral of Florence. But it was begun in 1296, which is really a long time ago if you think about it in Canadian terms, in Gothic style. And it was a design put forth by Arnolfo di Cambio, and it was structurally completed by 1436. You imagine it started in 1296, finished in 1436, with the dome that was engineered by Philip Brunelleschi. And then from here, we visit the Piazza della Signoria, and then, which is of course still the political heart of Florence, and of course an open air gallery of all the Renaissance masterpieces. So an incredible visit in Florence, which of course is the birthplace of the Renaissance. And you've been to the Accademia, Brad, right?
I've been to the Accademia several times, and I'll tell you, it's an experience that you'll never forget, honestly. So the Accademia, of course, is where Michelangelo's David is situated, and you get a chance to again in a VIP viewing circumbobulate around David. I've been to see David several times within l'Accademia, and I can tell you there are times where it's just been so congested and so packed in there that you literally can barely lift your camera to get a photo of this incredible statue. The way we travel with CAA and with Insight Vacations, your experience is completely different. It truly is a VIP experience. You are in the room with just a few other people, and you have all the time in the world to take your time to circle around the statue, to really appreciate this incredible piece of marble that's been transformed into this young David, and really quite an incredible lifelike feeling that you get from it. There's like nothing else. Not to mention, I will have to say, the
Mhm.
incredible paintings by Botticelli and by some of the other masters that are in some of the side galleries that you can visit as well. So you literally have to figure out how you're going to spend the time, because there's just so much to see and so much to appreciate. And I tell you, you can spend forever in that gallery. What you're seeing in front of you is actually, and Heidi, if you want to click the video, we can actually go through it, is the
Yep.
baptistry of St. John. And so this is something that was created back in the year of 1059. And you can imagine this is all gilt gold artwork in there, and all incredible medieval and Renaissance depictions of all of the stories within the Bible. But what's really spectacular about this baptismal area is that Dante Alighieri and some of the most prominent members of the de' Medici family were all baptized here. And the history that goes throughout this building is really quite something you feel while you're in there. It's quite a powerful moment. And I will have to say that to get into this room itself, and it's a massive, massive room, you have to pass through one of the three bronze doors, which depict these incredible biblical stories. And each door has been taken over, has been created by one of the masters. And so you have Andrea Pisano, you have Lorenzo Ghiberti, you have Michelangelo, who've all created something really quite exceptional. But Michelangelo's Gates of Paradise really are something that set the bar for realistic, artistic, beautiful bronze work that you will see throughout your journeys when you're in Italy.
Just stunning. Just stunning. So we leave Florence. We have seen the Accademia and, of course, all of these beautiful works of art and masterpieces. And we continue to Venice. But on the way to Venice, we stop in the beautiful coastal town of Pisa, which, of course, famous for the Leaning Tower. You have a travel director which will show you the baptistry bristling with marble spines, the colonnaded bell tower, which, lurching behind the 11th century cathedral, and of course, the famous Leaning Tower in the Square of Miracles. So from here, we travel through the Apennine Mountains, through the Emilia-Romagna region, and then we enter the city of Venice. And I can tell you, I love Venice. It's one of my favorite cities in Italy. And as evening falls, all the day trippers and the people that are staying outside the city desert the city center and return to the mainland. And you, as travelers and as guests of Insight Vacations that are staying at a property that is locally and centrally located, you get to sit and admire Venice as it is after everybody else has left. And it's an amazing experience to feel that you're there as a local. You get to indulge in a delicious dinner in a local restaurant with all of your newfound friends. And then maybe in the afternoon or in the late evening after you've finished your dinner, you can sit in St. Mark's Square. And I can tell you, they have bands either side that play beautiful music, and you can sit in the square and have a gelato or a limoncello or a beautiful cappuccino and listen to the music. And because you're staying within the city, it's something that you get to experience as an Insight guest. One of the properties that we use, of course, is the Bellini Venezia, which is situated in the Cannaregio quarter of Venice, and it's overlooking the Grand Canal. And it was converted from an 18th century palazzo to a luxury hotel. So those are sort of some of the properties that we use. And then the next day, waking up in Venice, you get to visit an art center where you can admire the age-old skill of the glass blowing by skilled artisans. And then in the afternoon, you have a private boat that whisks you past the historic churches and the 13th century palaces to St. Mark's Square. And then the first sight that you have is the pink marble of the Doge's Palace, which connected to the prisons by the Bridge of Sighs, which of course is another exclusive CA perk with this particular group. Maybe afterwards you get to board a gondola, which of course is very traditional in Venice, and have a serenade along the romantic canals, which I have to think, I actually did the gondola, and it was quite amazing and very relaxing, and just really topped off my trip to Venice. But Brad has also been there, and he's going to talk about something that we do in Venice.
I'm going to talk today about a special workshop that we traveled to on the island of Murano. And if you've been again to Venice, you know that the people who are waiting in line to go on these ferries to go over to the islands of Murano and Burano, they wait for hours and hours and hours in the beating heat of the sun of the middle of the summer. And the great news is, as being a guest with CAA and with Insight Vacations, we whisk you past all the crowds again and onto your private tenders, and we get you over to the island of Murano, and we get to visit this incredible atelier, this incredible workshop where masters practice the craft of glass blowing as they have done since the 15th century. It's an incredible art form, and you can see in the photo that Heidi had shown previously, the little horse that the master had created. I can tell you, I was there when he created that horse, and he created that horse within about 35 seconds. That's how incredibly talented these masters are. It's all in support of the United Nations sustainable goals that they've set for all travel around the world to make sure that sustainable tourism is at the heart of everything that we do. And it supports SDG number 11, which is the sustainable cities and communities. So not only do you get a chance to watch this master at work, you get to watch how they blend all of the sands and the different materials to bring the different types of glass and crystal together. And then you get, of course, a tour through this incredible atelier where you can actually make some purchases to support this atelier in support of the SDG goals of sustainable cities and communities. But I've walked away with beautiful crystal vases and glasses, and if I had the scope to put a crystal chandelier in my home, I probably would have walked away with one of those as well. It's an incredible experience, and I guarantee you, when you're there, and they'll transport everything for you. They'll package them in these incredible packages that protect everything that they send, and you will not be disappointed. It really is truly an inspiring art form that is just not practiced around the world like it used to be.
I've seen them make that horse. It's pretty impressive. And
And he does it so nonchalantly, doesn't he? He just kind of puts it, just, yeah, it's quite impressive.
And then you have this beautiful place where you can look at all of the creations. And yeah, there's a lot of people that walk through there and pick out really grand pieces. When I did a trip with Insight Vacations back in 2008, when I first visited Venice, we did have quite a few people that were traveling with us that did make pretty big purchases and got them shipped back. And I know I'm still connected with them, so I know they did get them. And they're appreciating them to this day in their homes, which is amazing.
I just want to mention one more thing too, and back to what you said, Heidi, about the way the hotel is centrally located on the island of Venice. You have to imagine that most tour operators stay on the mainland in Mestre. And what happens is you have to spend between 30 and 45 minutes of traveling back and forth if you want to get onto the island of Venice and if you want to get off the island of Venice. With us, you don't need to do that because you're staying in the island of Venice. You can just trip outside your doorstep to this incredible St. Mark's Square, just waiting for you to be able to enjoy a cocktail.
Okay, it's making me hungry. Thanks. So we leave beautiful Venice after that amazing experience, and we get to visit this peaceful town called Assisi, which has been dotted with medieval churches, colorful frescoes, shady courtyards, and in the valley, we see the Church of St. Mary of the Angels, which is the much venerated as the place of St. Francis's death. And then we continue out up to Mount Subasio, which of course is the upper town. From there, we join one of our fantastic local experts who takes us inside this huge basilica of St. Francis, which was built in the 13th century, where the frescoes by Giotto are heralded as the new era in Italian art. And the beauty of being in Assisi, and again, staying in a property that's located within the medieval town of Assisi, is that once we are done that little visit to the Basilica of St. Francis, you have the afternoon free to enjoy as you wish, which is amazing. You get some free time in this historic old town. And the Hotel Giotto Assisi is actually located within the medieval village of Assisi, with beautiful views over the Umbrian countryside. So there's some of the properties that we use in that particular town.
Spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
Oh, just looking at that view, it's just beautiful. So then we head further south and we get to explore Sorrento and the beautiful surrounding villages and this beautiful coastal view. And we travel through Cassino, which of course was the scene from a very fierce battle during World War II, and we follow the spectacular coastal route, cliffside road to the picturesque resort of Sorrento, which overlooks the Bay of Naples to Mount Vesuvius. And from here, on this particular day, you get to spend the rest of your day at leisure, which is amazing because we are staying within Sorrento. One of the properties that we stay at, or similar, which we'll be having on this group, is the Majestic Palace Hotel, which most of them are very local, surrounded by beautiful trees, and they're usually only about a 5-minute walk from the nearest Gulf of Naples beach. So you'll have some time to even visit a beach on the coast, which is amazing. And then from here, the next day when you wake up, you've had your fantastic breakfast, you're ready to embark for the Isle of Capri, which of course we cross the Bay of Naples to reach this beautiful island of Capri, and which is this a rock rising from, from the Mediterranean. And it's for 2,000 years, it's been an amazing sought out destination and has beckoned everybody from Tiberius Caesar to Gracie Fields. And then we arrive at the Marina Grande by boat, and we ascend to Capri town by one of our iconic open top taxis, which I'm sure Brad has been in, and a local expert will join us for an exploration of the narrow alleyways, and we can browse in the exclusive boutiques and wonder at the views over the Mediterranean Sea. And then when we finish the day, we descend to the port by funicular railway, and we return to Sorrento, where again you have the rest of the day at leisure to explore around. And maybe perhaps head to Positano for an exploration of the colorful Amalfi Coast. So you've been there, Brad, right? You can share your experience with Capri, because I want to know more about these open top taxis.
Yeah, the open top taxis are certainly something that you have to experience, and they're really at your beck and call whenever you get too tired from tripping around the island and on these little beautiful paths that go from little town to little town. So you have to imagine that Capri is it's an island that kind of goes upward. It's a volcanic island, and at the top of Capri is the city, the town of Capri, and all around are the little towns that kind of cascade down the cliffs. What you're seeing right now are the famous faraglione, and the faraglione are these incredible shapes that come up out of the ocean and circle around the island. So when you're wandering through these incredible paths that go from town to town, and perhaps from bar to bar, from restaurant to restaurant, you'll see that these incredible faraglione are not too far behind. As I said, I mean, it's amazing to me how organized this island is. I mean, it's been there, as you say, for centuries, Heidi. But at the same time, you can really there are areas where you can get lost. It's really quite rugged and gorgeous, and steep cliffs and beautiful views, and you'll never be short of a gorgeous view somewhere around you, because the Gulf of Naples is just stunning, and all of the yachts and all of the glitterati that are there on the island really make it something that you'll not get bored of soon.
Right now, I just want to dive in that ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people do at this point, but it's
So
just
beautiful.
just stunning, just stunning. So we've seen Capri. We have a beautiful rest at our gorgeous hotel, and again, wake up the next day and we're off to Pompeii before we head back to Rome for our final night. And Pompeii, as you know, is really frozen in time. It's been in the news lately. I don't know if anybody saw the news out there where they had Pompeii on the news, and there was some special article shared because they actually found what would have been almost like a food cart, like we have in the city of Toronto. It's crazy, where people would have actually ordered food from the street to dine, and they actually found and uncovered it, which was quite amazing to see after so many years of being hidden. And really, it's this opulent Roman town which has been preserved by layers of ash. After that disastrous eruption from Mount Vesuvius in AD 79, and we have this fantastic local expert. One of them I know for a fact, local experts have, sort of grown up around this area. Their family has grown up around this area. Pompeii is in their blood, and it's in their everyday life. And they take us through these cobbled streets, and look at the extensive excavations where it's, that have revealed the daily life of this ancient Roman civilization. And really, it's amazing. You have the Forum nearby. You get to peer into shops and patrician villas that have been decorated by all of these colorful wall paintings. And it's really one of those places that you have to see it to believe it. And I highly encourage everybody to see Pompeii at least once in their life, because it does leave you with a feeling that it's just magical in a very somber way. So we leave Pompeii and we head back to Rome, and we continue north and we get into Rome, and in the evening we enjoy this fantastic 4-course celebration dinner where we get to sit with all of our fellow travelers in our little bubble of a group that we've traveled with and enjoy this dinner with local wine at a local Roman restaurant. And one of the highlights of this celebration dinner is that as you dine, we actually get a private performance of popular songs and arias from some of Italy's best loved operas. So it's an amazing experience to end your fantastic journey of the best of Italy. And it's ciao e buon viaggio, see you and have a safe trip, and we hope to see you again. So with that, we've finished with this particular journey. I wanted to thank you all for your time today. I hope we've inspired you to think about your next journey with Insight Vacations, and maybe contact your trusted CA advisor to speak about this fantastic group itinerary or another journey with Insight Vacations, hopefully. Before I hand it back to Tanya, Brad, did you have some final words?
No, I just want to say we're such proud partners with CAA, and we really appreciate every CAA member who's taken the time to either look us up with CAA or think about traveling with us in the near future, and we certainly invite you to do so. We are seeing that things are leveling off now, that we're looking further ahead now to the time where we will be able to travel again, and we are starting to stoke the fires of the dreams again. So hopefully that you can talk to one of your CA advisors sooner rather than later and think about where you want to go.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for going through that day by day. It brought back some memories for me, and hopefully has inspired others to want to travel again as well. If not Italy, could be any other of the destinations that Insight and its family offers. I can tell you from experience, it is just the best way to go. Your hand held. There's no worries, no stress. You see everything like a VIP. And if anybody has any questions or even wants to inquire about anything in the future, you can let us know. Any of your CAA, if you have a CAA travel agent, or contact any of the offices down below. I don't see any questions there. Do you, Heidi?
I do. So we do have
Oh,
a
you
few
do?
questions. I'm sorry if some of you didn't hear the sound, but I will let you know.
Oh, no.
It has been recorded. There's only a few people, but we have recorded the session, so I will be sending it over. So if any of you are looking to receive the recording, please do reach out to your local advisor, and we can definitely get you a copy. So some of the questions also, we have Sharon. She actually left already, but she was interested in some of our other vacations. And so she would like to see some new places. So I'll take her details and have somebody register, reach out to her.
For sure.
Somebody else actually asked, which is a great question, how difficult is it to manage the language barrier when traveling in Italy? So Gary, thank you for that question. Our travel directors, and I'm going to highlight one of our fantastic travel directors who does a lot of our Italy journeys, Shona Finney, who makes us laugh all the time. She is from Scotland originally, but she speaks 3 languages. She includes English in that as well. And she is fluent in Italian. And what happens with our travel directors is when they're doing our journeys is they're there to help lead the journey so that it is seamless and stress-free for you when you're traveling, because they are handling all of the local restaurants and contacts that we have, because they're the ones that are speaking the language. You don't have to worry about that. So that's one of the blessings of having one of our fantastic travel directors. How long is the tour? Yeah, go
Sorry,
ahead.
Shona will teach you a few phrases and a few words so that you can manage. And if she knows specifically, if you're looking for something, she'll teach you the phrase that makes sense so that you can go into a shop or that you can speak to a local with the language that they'll understand. But I mean, a lot of them also really I mean, they're used to travelers coming in and out of their town. So a lot of them do understand English as well. So it's an interesting opportunity to practice a bit of Italian, but to know that there's a safe place there too.
Yeah. So this trip, a couple of people asked the question, how long is the trip? It's actually an 11-day trip that's been curated by CA Northeast and our fantastic special groups department. They're just incredible about what they do. So please do reach out to your advisor to get more information about this trip. It's happening in September 2022. And then somebody else asked about how long is the trip in Pompeii. It's a 1-day trip, but it is fully immersive with our fantastic local experts. And then other than that, we do have a little bit of free time incorporated into all of our trips. Definitely, as I pointed out on some of parts of the itinerary, you do have time to experience the city where you're staying as a local, because you do have incorporated free time everywhere. Other than that, we've had some great feedback. Katie, thank you so much for giving us, you basically said it was really lovely and well done. It's nice to start dreaming again. So I think that's for everybody. It's really nice to start dreaming again. And thank you everybody for your comments and your questions. And we will make sure that if there are any additional questions that are fed through to your CA advisors, we will definitely answer them as quickly as we can and help you get on your next trip as quickly as you can as well.
Thank you so much, Brad and Heidi. It definitely is nice to dream again and to think about a world post-COVID when we can start loving travel again and getting to enjoy what the world has to offer other than viruses. So thanks once again. I
Agreed.
really appreciate your time. I hope everybody has a good evening.
Thank you all.
Ciao, ciao.
Take
Grazie
care.
mille.
Bye-bye.
Bye.